bipartisan Senate Oceans Caucus, and one of the first things that we are doing is we're welcoming James Cameron, who is extremely well known to all of you for having made basically all of the cool movies that were ever made. And in addition to making basically all of the cool movies that were ever made, he also has done some of the coolest stuff in the oceans, including a solo manned voyage to the deepest part of the ocean, the bottom of the Mariana Trench. And that's the vehicle that you see behind us. And I, at this point, stand between you and him, and I know perfectly well where I belong in the food chain, so I will vacate this microphone very quickly. But I do want to thank you guys for being here, and thank you for bringing this wonderful vehicle. I regret to say that it's going to drive right by the University of Rhode Island Graduate School of Oceanography on its way to its final home at the Woods Hole Ocean Institute in Cape Cod, Massachusetts. But at least it will be in the region, and it will help advance both the science and the technology of deep water exploration. And I'll close by saying that we need to learn a lot more about our oceans. It is one of Jim's exploring colleague Bob Ballard's observations that we know more about the backside of the moon than we know about the bottom of our own oceans on this planet. And as was pointed out during our discussion earlier, we know even less about the water column above the bottom of those oceans. So, Jim, let me welcome you guys up here to the microphone, and thank you for being here. Thank you all for coming. Please, James Cameron.
That was a very kind introduction, and I'd just like to thank Senator Whitehouse for his work in support of the oceans and for your leadership. You know, there are very few strong leaders and advocates for the ocean, and as you were saying earlier, the ocean can't speak for itself, and so to have you amongst the nation's leadership speaking for the oceans, that means a great deal to us in the ocean community. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
Okay, all right, and thank you for spending some time in your busy day with us. And Senator Whitehouse also had some excellent questions about the subject, so it was great to get to share the technology. We built this vehicle with a small group of mostly young engineers who had never worked on a manned submersible before, with the exception of myself and the co-designer of the vehicle, who's here, I think, somewhere, Ron Allen. There's Ron. So Ron and I were the only parents, the only parental supervision involved. It was done with private funding, and it was done in secrecy, because we didn't want to be telling the world we were going to go do something we didn't know we could do until we had confidence that we could do it. As we went out to the Challenger Deep with this vehicle, there was a great upwelling of public support. There was a great deal of interest on the internet. 2.8 billion hits to our expedition website. So we know that people out there are very excited about realizing that exploration is not dead. We don't live in